Hi, welcome to Internet Mysteries with Mio. Today we are looking at the Backrooms. It began with one photo and one short piece of text. A yellow room, old carpet, harsh lights. The idea that you could slip out of reality by mistake and land in a place that feels built, but not meant for you. That is the whole hook. Not a ritual, not a haunted house, just a normal space that stops behaving like a normal space. Before we talk about the lore, the games, Kane Pixels, or the source hunt, we need to start with the image. The room looks plain. That is why it works. Yellow walls, low ceiling, old carpet, fluorescent light, a commercial interior that could be part of a store, a basement, a school, a church hall, or some office building you half remember. Your brain tries to place it. It almost can. Then it fails. That small failure creates the fear. The photo is not strange enough to dismiss, and not normal enough to trust. The word people use for this feeling is liminal. A liminal space is a place between uses. A hallway is not the destination. A hotel corridor is the route to the room. A parking garage is the step before the airport, the mall, or the office. A pool room is built for noise, people, water, and motion. When those places are empty, the purpose drops out. The design is still there, the lights still work, the signs still point somewhere, but the human part is gone. That is why liminal photos spread so well online. They do not always look scary. Some look sad, some feel like childhood, some feel like a place you visited once in a dream. Backrooms takes that feeling and traps you inside it. You do not pass through the empty hallway. You stay there. The famous Backrooms post came from 4chan's paranormal board, Zlive XX, in 2019. People were posting images that felt wrong. One user posted the yellow room. Another user added the text that turned the photo into a story. Here is the original text in full. If you're not careful and you no-clip out of reality in the wrong areas, you'll end up in the backrooms, where it's nothing but the stink of old moist carpet, the madness of mono yellow, the endless background noise of fluorescent lights at maximum hum buzz, and approximately 600 million square miles of randomly segmented empty rooms to be trapped in. God save you if you hear something wandering around nearby, because it sure as hell has heard you. That is why people call the Backrooms a creepypasta. It became copied internet horror, but its real origin is sharper than that. A forum reply attached to a photo. The key phrase is no clip. In games, no clip means you pass through geometry that should be solid. A wall stops being a wall. A floor stops being a floor. You leave the map. The Backrooms moves that bug into real life. You make the wrong motion in the wrong place, and the world fails to keep you on the correct side. That idea is clean. It does not need much else. The first version gives us a room, a smell, a sound, an impossible size, and one warning: something nearby has already heard you. Then the internet began to build. The early spread moved through 4chan, Reddit, meme pages, YouTube readings, TikTok, and liminal space communities. The pitch was easy to repeat. The backrooms are where you go when you fall through reality. That left a lot of empty space for other people to fill. The first big change was the idea of levels. The yellow maze became level 0, the baseline version of the nightmare. It is the place most people picture first. Old carpet, buzzing lights, damp air, and endless rooms that repeat with slight changes. But if level 0 exists, then people ask the next question: what is below it, beside it, or past it? That question turns the story into geography. Level 1 often becomes darker and more industrial. Level 2 moves into service tunnels, pipes, heat, concrete, and long corridors. Other levels become hotels, offices, schools, suburbs, stairwells, roads, playrooms, and spaces that feel less like buildings and more like dreams with rules. Level 37, the pool rooms, became one of the most famous branches. Water and tile already feel strange when no one is around. Add endless rooms, flat light, echoes, and no clear exit, and it becomes its own kind of horror. Some levels work because they feel quiet. Some work because they feel like a game map. Some work because they give fans a place to write, draw, film, and explore. The wikis pushed that world building further. Question changed from "what is this place?" to "how do you survive it?" People wrote guides. They listed safe rooms, unsafe rooms, objects, food, water, exits, hazards, and rules. They created factions and maps. They gave danger classes to levels. They tried to make the impossible place readable. That changed the tone. The first Backrooms post scares us because it gives almost no information. The wiki versions pull people in because they give more and more information. Both versions work, but they work in different ways. This is why people still argue about canon. There is no single Backrooms that everyone accepts. The fandom wiki, the wiki.side, Kane Pixels, Roblox games, indie horror games, TikTok edits, YouTube explainers, and minimalist, liminal horror all treat the idea in their own way. Some fans want the room to stay empty. Some want a huge archive with rules, monsters, and maps. Some only care about Kane Pixels. Some found the Backrooms through games, so they expect co-op, entities, and chase scenes. That split matters most when we talk about entities. The first text only says something is wandering nearby. It does not tell us what it is. That makes it strong. The threat stays outside the frame. Later versions gave the danger names and shapes. Smilers are simple and effective. Eyes and a grin in the dark. You understand them at once. Hounds turn the space into a chase. The fear becomes distance, speed, and the sound behind you. Facelings keep the outline of a person but remove the face. That takes something social and makes it unreadable. Skin stealers make trust unsafe. The danger is not only that something might attack you, it might look close enough to human that you let it near. Partygoers became one of the most famous and most divisive entities. They are easy to recognize, easy to meme, and far louder than the original mood. This is the trade-off. Entities give games, wikis, and videos clear danger. They also explain the dark. For some people, that makes the Backrooms more fun. For others, it makes it less scary. The best versions know when to stop explaining. In 2022, Kane Pixels changed what the Backrooms looked like on screen. Kane Parsons uploaded the Backrooms, found footage on January 7, 2022. His short did not create the Backrooms, but it gave the idea a new form. We are going to show the entrance segment from Kane Pixels' Backrooms. If you want the full piece, watch it on Kane's channel. It is worth seeing in its original form.
Sound, camera,
Rolling.
all right, and action. All right, cut. That was good, guys. All right, that was good. I'm thinking we get a wide angle, and then we're done. Okay?
All right. Yeah. Cool. Like how much further? Like.
A little more. A little more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
The opening starts outside. A small group is filming a casual project. The camera operator steps back, trips, hits the ground, and falls through the world. That fall is important. It makes the Backrooms feel close. The place is not hidden in a distant mansion or a cursed forest. It sits under normal life, waiting for one bad step. Inside, Kane keeps the core ingredients: yellow rooms, bad carpet, ugly walls, fluorescent light, and a building that seems to repeat itself. The big change is motion. The photo lets you stare. The short makes you turn corners. You hear the space. You measure the next hallway. You feel the camera operator choose left or right with no good reason. Kane's wider series adds async, missing people, test footage, thresholds, government-style research, and a group trying to study a place they cannot control. That frame gives the story a new shape. It is no longer only about one lost person. It becomes a failed project. People found a door into the impossible, then treated it like a site they could manage. That approach helped bring the Backrooms to a much wider audience. It also showed how strong the concept could be without turning every scene into a monster chase. Games were the next natural step. Backrooms already feels close to games. It has maps, walls, collision, dead ends, wrong turns, and the fear that a hallway may loop back on itself. The complex, found footage leans into wandering. It uses slow dread, found footage framing, and long empty spaces. The fear comes from movement through a place that never gives you a clear reason to be there. Inside the Backrooms and Escape the Backrooms move toward co-op survival. Players solve puzzles, call out directions, avoid entities, and turn panic into a group problem. The Backrooms, 1998, uses found footage survival horror with a more personal tone. It leans into memory, childhood fear, and the feeling that something can watch you in a place that should be empty. The complex. Expedition continues the liminal exploration side. It is careful with mood, scale, and silence. It cares more about the space than a giant lore dump. Pools is not just a Backrooms game, but it belongs in the same conversation. It takes the pool room's idea and strips it down to water, tile, echoes, and the dread of a public place with no people. Subliminal moves toward perception and puzzle horror. It uses impossible transitions, clean spaces, and a sense that the building is testing how you see. These games show how flexible the idea became. The Backrooms can be a walking simulator, a co-op survival game, a found footage horror piece, or a quiet study of empty rooms. Then came one of the best real-world chapters, the search for the original photo. For years, people had the image, but not the source. Reposts had stripped away context. Reverse image search did not solve it. The room looked real, but the trail felt broken. That made the source hunt feel like lost media. Where was the room? Who took the photo? Was it an office? A store? A basement? Why did this plain space become the most famous empty room on the internet? In 2024, researchers in the Virtual Carbon Discord community traced the photo back through old web records, file names, archived pages, and image details. Reporting often credits Semliot, Sarara, Perditus Redux, and Liam. Farrell McGuire has also talked about being involved around the investigation, and his videos are a good place to hear that search explained with more detail. The trail led to Hobbytown, USA in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. The room was tied to renovation photos for a space connected with Revolution Raceway, an indoor radio-controlled car track. The famous image is linked to the file DSC00161. Another photo, DSC00159, shows the same area from a different angle. Seeing the second angle changes the feeling. The first image is the myth. The second image reminds you that a real person stood in that room with a camera. It was not a horror set. It was a normal building in the middle of a renovation. That discovery did not weaken the image. It made it stranger. The nightmare had an address. Quick shout out to Farrell McGuire here. He covers a lot of this investigation on his channel, and I recommend his Backrooms videos if you want the source location story broken down step by step. The source matters because it proves something about internet horror. Sometimes the scariest image is not made to scare anyone. It is a normal photo that loses its context, drifts online, and waits for the right sentence. The Backrooms is now big enough for a film. A24 lists The Backrooms for May 29, 2026, directed by Kane Parsons and written by Will Sudik. The premise centers on a strange doorway in the basement of a furniture showroom. That setup fits the idea. A furniture showroom is another false home. Staged rooms, fake comfort, clean paths, bright lights, and spaces built to look lived in while no one lives there. The hard part will be restraint. The Backrooms works best when the viewer still has room to imagine what waits past the next corner. So what are the Backrooms now? They are a 4chan image reply. They are creepypasta in the broad sense of copied internet horror. They are a wiki universe, a game genre, a Kane Pixels series, a coming film, and a real photo from a Wisconsin renovation archive. But the core is still simple. The Backrooms names a fear that was already there. The fear of being trapped in a space that should only be temporary. A hallway is meant to be crossed. A waiting room is meant to end. A store closes. A hotel corridor leads to a door. A pool room fills with people and noise. The Backrooms removes the next step. You keep walking and the place keeps being the place. That is why the image still works. It feels close to a memory, but not close enough to explain. It looks like somewhere you might have been. It also looks like somewhere you should never be alone. The best horror in the Backrooms is not the monster. It is the thought that the normal world has a gap in it, and one day, you might find it by accident. Thanks for watching this dive into the Backrooms. We will keep investigating internet mysteries, lost media, strange images, and the stories that escape the screen. Until next time.